Hey guys, Tony Maritato here, physical therapist. So you probably saw the other day I posted a Facebook Live where I purchased these Ace wraps. I bought 2 of them. They're 6-inch wide wraps. That's super important. Don't get the 3 or the 4-inch. They're just too narrow and they tend to kind of cut in a little too much. You want the width of at least 6 inches. You're looking for a comfortable, sustainable, long duration, relatively low intensity compression that's going to move the fluid either from the knee or even in the ankle back into the system. We want to get that lymph fluid moving. We want your kidneys and the rest of your body to process that fluid, get the junk out of the system, allow the nutrients to come back in. But the secondary benefit to a compression wrap is that it's going to produce relatively quick changes in girth. So you could lose as much as ½ centimeter within 5 to 10 minutes. And that's going to allow you to work on your range of motion a little more effectively. So let me show you how to use these. These are brand new. Obviously, I didn't have knee surgery. I don't have any swelling issues. I wish I had a real patient here to show you, because there's a difference on me putting it on and a patient like you after knee surgery putting it on, but we're gonna make do with what we've got. So I'm gonna pretend for this demo that it's my right just because of the way I'm positioned. Usually what I would do is I would say, sit on your couch. Imagine this is my couch. There's an armrest there, the back of the couch here, or it's the side of my bed, as long as the bed is low enough that I'm comfortable and I don't feel like I'm slipping off the bed. My feet can be on the floor. So I usually will turn toward my surgical side. We'll pull one of these out. Now some of these will have Velcro on the ends. I prefer that much more than these little metal clips. These little metal clips tend to dig into the skin. They're dangerous. I just don't like them. I'd rather you use nothing and just tuck the end of the wrap than use these little metal clips. So I'm gonna get these off of here for a second. Okay, I'm gonna get the leg up. Now for many I should say, it's gonna be hard to reach down even to the foot to begin the wrapping. You're not gonna have the range of motion to be able to bring the foot to you. So if you have a spouse, a loved one, a friend who can help you with this, it's gonna be really beneficial and make it a lot more enjoyable. But basically what you do, when you're unrolling the wrap, you want to unroll it with the ball on top. It's much more difficult to try and unroll it with the ball or the roll underneath. So I go with the ball on top. Assuming most of my swelling is in the knee, you're probably gonna still have some swelling down in the foot and the ankle. And if you have 2 of these, I'd rather you start down at the foot and wrap all the way up to the thigh to get that full pressure gradient to allow that fluid to move back into the system. Basically what you're gonna do, or the person who's helping you is gonna do, is you start right about at the base of the toes, middle of the arch. And so this is what we would call our anchor wrap. You can do a full coverage wrap so that I'm totally over the one that's underneath. But then from that point, what I am doing is what we would call about a 50% overlap. So in other words, if this is a 6-inch wide compression wrap, I want about 3 inches below it and 3 inches overlapping. And it's just a spiral based wrap. You would not have socks on, you would not have pants on. This would be directly on the skin, but for demo purposes, I'm not showing you my nasty feet. So, okay. I apply approximately the same pressure as I work through this spiral. And the reason why it helps to move the fluid up is because of these overlaps. These overlaps give me the graded exposure that I want. So I would continue the spiral wrap. You want to eliminate all of the little wrinkles that you can find to the best of your ability. Might not be perfect, but you want it to be as close as possible. And so as I continue pretend that I had pants that were flexible enough that I can bring them all the way up. I've got my 50% coverage coming right up over the knee, over the incision. Once I get to the end, now at this point, just to kind of hold it there, I'm gonna tuck it in. I'm gonna grab my second wrap. I'm gonna pull my clips off. Because again, those things, any little, hole, defect in the skin is gonna open you up to infection. So you just need to be super aware and conscious. So I untuck it, and then from there, I start my next wrap. So I come around, and then I continue right up high into the thigh. I can lighten the tension as I get toward the end. Now at this point, there's virtually no stretch in the band. The band is just resting. I can tuck it in here if I don't have it, or I can use an athletic tape if you have something like that at home. Masking tape will work also, just to kind of tape that, so I'm not using these little pokey devices. If not, I tuck it in the top. I don't tuck it in the bottom, but it's a clean spiral all the way up, right up into the thigh. Now it's comfortable. I feel it compressing, but I don't feel it throbbing. I don't have a pulse in my foot or my toes, like they're not beating. I relax like this. Now, if I'm on my couch and you saw the video of elevation on the couch, what I would do is I would lay down, I'd prop that foot up on the back of the couch, and then I just relax. Hands back, chill out. If I'm not on the couch, but I'm on a bed, and you have a physio ball, 100%, you can just kind of rest it up in that position like that. If I want to add a little bit of range of motion, I can absolutely start working. Most surgeons are not sending home passive range of motion machines. There's just no proven benefit to it. If you have one, great, use it. If you don't worry about it. But what I would do at home is I would just get into this position and work it using my own muscle activity. If I start to kind of get a little separation here, I just adjust and just kind of check it out, and everything looks good. I'm laying flat on my back, remember. If the extension is too uncomfortable, I can bring the ball in. Notice I get a little bit of flexion in there. I want to spend about 5 to 10 minutes in this position. I can certainly do my ankle pumps from here. If you had a strap, right, you can do your calf stretches, any of the stuff that you've been doing, but doing it with the compression is going to be hugely beneficial. And so now, let's say for a moment, it's been 10 minutes, fast forward, everything still feels great. What do I do next? So then, just to make it a little easier the next time you roll, I kind of roll it, oops, that always happens. I roll it back the way I unrolled it. Now, little tips. If you have a TENS unit and you like using your TENS unit, you can have your TENS unit on while you're doing your compression. If you have an ice machine or just an ice pack, a gel pack, you can put the ice pack on while you have your compression. There are so many things that you can do while you have the compression. So I'm just rolling this up. Like I said, this just kind of saves me some headache the next time I use it. I'm going to just kind of speed through this because I want to show you what's next. Okay, so let's say now I just compressed everything. If I was measuring, what I would have done is taken one of those tape measures, that's kind of like a tape, right? It's soft, it's flexible. I would have wrapped it around the middle of the knee, maybe put a little Sharpie dot so I know where I'm marking it. So if your incision's here, I put a dot on either side and I know where I mark it. And I would measure it. I would measure it before and I would measure it after. And then once that's done, I would expect about a 1/2 centimeter to 2 centimeters difference in the girth at the middle of the knee. That's totally within reason. If you're not getting more than 1/2 centimeter, you probably don't have that much swelling, which is awesome, okay? So now what do? I've got this skinny knee relative to where it was before and where it's gonna be in the next 10 to 15 minutes because the swelling will come back, that's okay. Now I wanna work my range of motion. And my favorite ways to work on range of motion, work on flexion depending on where you are in the healing process. Again, if you have a physio ball, awesome. You get back up here, you work on using your muscles to pull that knee back, push it forward. If you don't have the physio ball, no big deal. Everybody in the world understands a heel slide. I would do a heel slide. I would do some bridges and then try to pull it back a little more. More bridges, 5 to 10, and pull it back a little more. If this is my couch, I've shown you this one before, I'm going to show you again. So one of my favorites is I come up, I get the knee, I'm going to see if you guys can see it from that angle. I put my leg, my foot's hanging off the side of the couch, my knee is on it, and I just start to work back into it and forward. I would not call this kneeling because you're on a couch, you're on 6 to 8 inches of cushion, and so all you're doing is controlling, lean forward, lean back. I feel that pressure in there. It should be a little uncomfortable is okay, not painful. It does not have to be painful. And then of course we've got where again, if this was my couch and this is the edge of my couch, one of my favorites is I back up so that the couch is kind of right below my knee. That edge and that cushion is right below my knee. And I just bounce it. I'm not into the end of the range of motion. I could bend the knee more. What I do is I come back and I give it this little bounce. And so what it's doing is it's taking that bone from the lower leg and it's just gliding it in and out, front and back, however you want to describe it. And then from there, once I've done that, 20, 30 seconds, kind of in the beginning, you're a little bit anxious about it, and then you realize, hey, this doesn't hurt. Actually feels pretty good. Perfect. Then you put that foot down, then you slide your hips forward. That's how you work into that knee range of motion. There are just so many ways to work on flexion. Flexion, flexion, flexion. Now, let's talk about extension for a minute. Obviously we have, I turn, my knee is up, let's pretend there's, that bend in it. Certainly what I can do is, if I push down, right, the response, the normal reaction is, I want to tighten back up. But if I get here and then I kind of slide back, so I'm taking my body and moving my body back, that creates a little bit of traction. It lengthens the leg, which by default improves the extension. To me, traction feels a lot better than compression or trying to push that down. That just never seems to be effective for me or my clients. But anytime I can kind of pull on that leg a little bit comfortably, I can usually get a better relaxation response. And at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these muscles to relax. We're looking for the nervous system to relax and kind of let everything just calm down. If you're pushing into the pain, you're probably just flaring things up. Take a step back. Discomfort, not pain. You're going to hear that mantra repeatedly within this group and these videos. That's it. That is something you can do 2-3 times a day. After you've been on your feet for a prolonged period, there's going to be more swelling, even 3-4 months down the road. Break out your wraps, compression it, elevate it, work on range of motion. Before you know it, you will be doing the things that you want to do. Don't get hung up on the numbers. The numbers are meaningless. You did not get a replacement because you wanted 120 degrees of flexion. You probably didn't even know what 120 degrees of flexion on a goniometer meant. don't get distracted. The goal is less pain. The goal is more function and doing the things you love. The numbers have no effect on that. Focus on doing the things you love. Keep participating. I love making these videos. Ask me questions because they allow me to make better videos. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day.